if we may, guys.
Alright. Hello everybody. My name is Nosana Sondiyazi. I work in an organization called Tholwana Molemo. It's an LGBT organization focusing on transgender individuals, and we offer healthcare services and gender affirming healthcare as well. I'm the advocacy officer. So if anyone's upset you, offended you, wherever you buy your bread every day, if your mom is upsetting you, your teacher's upsetting you, and you want to take it political, I'm the person you contact. Yeah, thank you. Did somebody take my spectacles? For male, female, and unisex. That unisex symbol is bending the gender because now we're getting out of the binary and we're saying certain things are for both male and female. And I know now there's clothing stores also that have a unisex department. Because when I was a kid, I liked wearing boys' clothes, right? So my granddad and I would go shopping and I'd come back with boys' pants and be very happy, and we get home and then my grandma's like, no, why are you wearing boys' clothes? Take them back to the shop. And then my granddad and I would first take a picture of me in the pants and then return them back to the shop. So I've got like quite a few pictures of when because my granddad always like understood, like even when we were having family gatherings and we are slaughtering an animal like a sheep, you know, the girls' chores. The girls would be in the kitchen cooking, cleaning the intestines. The guys would be outside buying whatever just got taken out, like the liver. There was even a particular part of the sheep called indoni. Any of you guys like kosa? And it was strictly for boys. And since I was 4 years old, since I can remember, my granddad said, no, you can eat this thing with the boys. So from a very young age, I never understood why there's males and females when I'm allowed to do these boys things, right? Luckily, because of my granddad. And I think something that we need to understand when we're bending gender and when we're talking about particularly transgender people, we like to focus on the fact that, oh, you were born female, you are living as a male. Ne? Or you were born male, you're living as a female, you're transgender, you're living as the opposite sex. But there's also the sexual orientation of that trans person, of that non-binary person. Right? Because remember, there's an umbrella. So as a non-binary person, it doesn't mean you're sexless, it doesn't mean you're a eunuch, it doesn't mean now your things have sealed up, closed up. Do you know what I mean? It means you can still have sex, right? And you can still be attracted to somebody. So as a non-binary person, are you only attracted to other non-binary people? As a trans person who's a trans male, who's maybe masculine presenting, are you only attracted to females who are lesbian or straight females? You know? As a trans, I know of a couple whereby they are both trans. There's a trans man who has female genitalia frontal organs. You can't call it a vagina because now we're talking about a trans man. Trans man doesn't have a vagina, doesn't have boobs. They've got frontal organs. Everything's frontal. That's how you refer to it. Can't be offensive and call it a vagina. Your frontal part, your frontal organs. Ne? So they've both got the frontal organs according to the sex they were assigned at birth. And we're like, oh, wonder what sex we're having. None of our business what kind of sex they're having. We don't know who's putting which frontal organ into which place. Ne? So we don't know if they're using cucumbers. We don't know if they went to the sex shop. We don't know if they're using their fingers. We don't know until they got pregnant. Oh my gosh, they got pregnant. Like, oh my gosh, so you were putting it in there. So now what does it mean? Right? Does it mean now you're both straight? Does it mean you let go of your transgender identity? It doesn't, eh? Because as a trans man, you're attracted to this very beautiful trans woman who's got all the feminine qualities and the frontal organ of a person assigned male at birth, right? And only if maybe you are on hormone replacement therapy treatment, which are you familiar with hormone gender affirming treatment? Because if you're a trans woman and you start going on HRT, that gender affirming treatment, né? One of the side effects is that you start growing boobs, né? Your skin will become soft, maybe you'll get some hips, you know. Definitely your frontal organ, your lady penis, maybe it will stop working, you will stop getting erection because you don't identify it, you look at it, you wonder what's doing there, you know. So it's great if it's not working. So now they got pregnant, and it's none of our business. We can't really say like, why were you using that? Why was that person using the thing that they don't identify as? And why are they using a part of their body that they deny, that they don't like, you know? So it basically means that two trans people are the same, right? You can't say, oh, you're trans, you don't like that part of your body. Oh, you are trans, you are non-binary, you don't agree with those parts of the body. So there isn't a set rule as, oh, non-binary people act like this, gender non-conforming act like this, because you can imagine as heterosexual, cisgender people, can any one of you speak on behalf of all heterosexuals and say, we are like this as heterosexuals? It's not really possible, right? You've got your different kinks, you've got your different fetishes. Some people like this toe sucked. Others like, oh my God, is that straight people? Like the toe sucked. The straight people are, you know, that's ridiculous, right? So it is definitely the same with us. In universities, sometimes trans people, if your ID doesn't match your how you are dressed and how you're expressing yourself, né? You will be considered that you're cheating, you're impersonating somebody, you're committing fraud, right? People's bank accounts have been closed. People have lost their homes, lost their properties, lost their cars, have been unable to actually finish school because of the fact that they'll be accused of this. Because imagine now, you're about to get into the exam hall, somebody says, no, this isn't you. Then how are you going to prove it? Are you going to pull your pants down? Why should I pull my pants down in front of this Danny who's telling me they don't believe me? Do you know what I mean? So, and just speaking on intersex also, no two intersex people are the same because there is a third sex. Maybe that's what it should say, né? The third box, third sex. Because the third sex could either be your intersex or your transgender or whatever. Then you don't have to fully describe yourself as other. In the past, babies born, they look in between the legs of the baby, they show it to the mom, and then they ask the mom, what have you got? A girl or a boy? And then maybe it's silent in that maternity ward because they can't recognize those genitals. They don't know what they're looking at. They don't know if that is the largest clitoris that has ever been or the tiniest penis ever was. Because it's just so ambiguous. Né? And then the doctors will say to the parents, oh, okay, what would you like? Né? Now this is where the rights of the baby are being violated. Because the baby, we don't know what sex and what genitals they're going to want to use and live as and express as in adulthood. So there have been these surgeries that have been performed on infants where they correct the very perfectly healthy intersex organ, right? Perfectly healthy, it will be healthy because it can get erect, it can get wet, you know, it's not like your urine tract is blocked or anything. But it's a hidden sex, it's a secret sex. People who are intersex often don't even come out. Within families, I've heard of intersex people where their brothers and sisters don't know that you've got ambiguous genitalia. Ne? That is the most obvious and the most known version of intersex. Sometimes your intersex qualities only show up during puberty. Because a friend of mine from Durban, trans woman, fabulous. Ne? But they had chosen for them to have a penis formed from the intersex organ, but then started menstruating when she was told from her anus. And she's like, no, Dad, why am I menstruating from my anus? And then they said, well, my child, there's something we never told you when you were born. Do you understand? So now this can happen now during chromosome time. And then just some people, it won't come out as menstruation like that. Maybe you were a girl the whole time, your genitals look like female genitals. We all know Caster Semenya identifies as female, but hormonal chromosome, with the chromosomes, there's just this high testosterone, right? So then you can become intersex because of that. And intersex is a biological thing. It's not like when you're transgender, whereby you can just tell yourself, no, what I have here is not me, I think differently.